Unit 1. Finding an internship. Exercise 4.
Okay. Thank you. If I could have your attention, please. As you all know, we're here today to discuss the issue of internships. How to find them, how to get them, what pitfalls to avoid. And I'm very happy that we have a number of people here today who are willing to share their experience with us and who can give us some first-hand advice. Mark, do you think you could start?
Yeah, sure. Hi, yes, I'm Mark, and I'd like to tell you about how I found my internship. I was sitting at my desk one Friday night last winter during final exams. I was sick of studying, and I felt a sudden urge to look for an internship for next summer. I'm majoring in accounting, and so I began researching a number of websites in that field without finding anything that really grabbed me. I was about to give up my search when I found the perfect internship. It even paid a small salary and included housing. It was exactly what I'd been looking for. Then I noticed with horror that the deadline was at 5 p.m. and it was now almost 10. The entire application, resume, recommendations, transcript, everything should have been sent hours before. The perfect internship was gone. I was crushed. Then I decided to take a chance. I filled out the application and was going to submit it with a resume I had on my computer. But that still left the recommendation and the transcript. There was no way I could get them before Monday. So I improvised. I wrote an email explaining my story and clicked the send button just before midnight. On Monday morning, I received a friendly email thanking me for my application and saying I could have an extra week to send in the other documents. Well, in the end, I got the internship and I learned a valuable lesson. Deadlines may not always be true deadlines. If there is something you really want to do, try anyway, because the deadline may be negotiable. So, yeah, let me pass you over to Jennifer.
Yes, hi, my name is Jennifer. I graduated from Lake County Community College in May with a degree in office management and 6 months of internship experience. My last internship was fantastic, and I got it by pure luck. In November, I was talking to Allison, one of the staff members in the Career Counseling Center, about obtaining an internship. She asked me, where would you ideally like to work? I didn't have to think long about that one. I like to shop online for things like books and DVDs, and so I knew immediately that booksonline.com was my dream. Allison told me that there was a possibility I could intern at Books Online. She knew someone who worked there and was willing to make a call on my behalf. I was absolutely thrilled, but didn't want to get my hopes up in case things didn't work out. Luckily, it wasn't the case. Allison's contact put me in touch with a books manager who was willing to meet with me. 1 week later, I found myself sitting in the corporate office at booksonline.com meeting with Shirley, my potential supervisor. The meeting went very well, and I could hardly wait for a response. Waiting was the worst. It was getting close to Christmas, and there was only a couple of weeks before I returned to school. I needed to have an internship secured by the second week of class at the latest, and I was getting nervous. The day before Christmas, I got an email from Shirley saying I could start on January 8th. And that's all from me, really.
I didn't find my internship in the conventional way. Actually, I sat down and made a list of the business people I admired most. 2 of them were actually in the same city as my university and in the fields I was interested in. Then, I used the internet to find details on their companies and their addresses. Then, I wrote customized letters to 6 of them, stressing my personal qualities. You know, conscientiousness, enthusiasm, resourcefulness, and told them how I thought employing me for a summer could benefit their company. Then, I sent them off with my CV. 4 of the people I'd written to replied, and 2 offered me a job. I finally decided in favor of an environmental consultancy run by a really energetic woman who couldn't afford to give me a salary, but My parents helped me out, and I learnt so much during the summer that this wasn't an issue. I can only recommend using your own imagination and creativity. It is one way to get around the fierce competition that's out there and really makes a good impression. But over to you, Brian.
Hi, thanks for coming today. And my name's Brian, and I'm an MBA student studying international business. One of the requirements for our degree is a summer internship abroad. I didn't have to look for the internship myself, but was placed by our German partner university at a German pharmaceutical company. However, beforehand, I was interviewed by a recruiter who came to our campus. Now, I kind of thought the questions he asked were a bit personal, such as, what would you do if the German colleagues still hadn't asked you around to their homes or whatever, and you started to feel like an outsider? But he probably asked those things because he wanted to know about my level of commitment. I was very happy to get the internship because the company has a reputation for high standards and innovative products. Apart from a small housing subsidy, I didn't really get any monetary compensation for my work, but I didn't mind as I learned so much. I worked in the sales department and performed a statistical analysis of Salesforce activities. My colleagues were great. They were very hardworking and very helpful when I had problems or questions. The company is famous for its family atmosphere, I guess you'd call it. And that's certainly what I encountered. Overall, it was an excellent experience. And I hope to be able to return to the company after I graduate next year.
Okay, and on my left, I've got Simon. What's your story?
Hi, my name is Simon Hull. I'm a student at the University of Applied Sciences in Düsseldorf. I'm majoring in business with a specialization in marketing. My parents are food freaks and run an organic supermarket in my hometown, so I guess you could say that I'm sort of predestined for a career in food. So when I began looking for an internship, I decided to apply to American Fields. I spent a year at high school in the US, so I was already familiar with the States. I wasn't sure I'd get the job, as you have to go through a tough screening process, and there's lots of competition. I had to submit a portfolio containing my CV and references, and then was invited to Frankfurt for an interview. I had the feeling that the recruiter wanted to find out how good my English was, like would I be able to function in an office or in a business situation like a native speaker. So she asked me things like, what would you do in such and such situation? And what would you say if... I thought she would never stop. And then she seemed really interested in making sure that I was serious about learning something. You know, that I wouldn't just spend the summer partying. Anyway, I was overjoyed when I got an email saying that I'd been accepted for a 10-week paid internship in the market research department in the headquarters in Minnesota. And that's it. Does anybody have any questions?